Hello. Welcome back to Luke Talks Football. I am here today previewing my team, Crystal Palace, and their first Premier League game of the new season against Brentford, away from home at the GTEC Community Stadium. I'm absolutely buzzing for the season to be back. If you are new here, be sure to subscribe and give this video a like and comment if you want to see more. Palace fans, let me know what result you think we're going to get. Are we going to win? Are we going to draw? Are we going to lose? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. So Palace play Brentford on Sunday, as I said, away from home, 2 p.m. kickoff as well. Sadly, not a Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff. And, coming off the back of last season and pre-season, the Eagles were looking good. We're looking good. Of course, we had that ridiculous run from about April to May, I think the last 2 or 3 months in which we were so good. Beat Liverpool away from home, beat Man United 4-0, had some huge results. And it's all about, can Crystal Palace continue this? And can they continue this without Michael Olise? That is the huge question. It is going to be fantastic when the season starts because we can get some of these transfer rumours out of our heads. It has been ridiculous. I don't know about you, Palace fans, but I have not seen a summer where we've had so many players linked away. But the positive about that is it just shows how good this current squad is. We've got such a good 11, 12, 13, 14 players. They look so good. And if we can just hold on to the Gay, Elise, stuff like that, then we could have a really exciting season for sure. Oliver Glasner made an amazing comment the other day where he said, he can't wait for the season to start, can't wait for the transfer window to shut. And when it does, he's going to have a pint of Guinness. Don't worry, Glasner, I will be joining you on that one for sure. As well as the run we had towards the end of last season, we of course have had pre-season and it's been spectacular, really. Not perfect, but close enough. We played Wolves and West Ham in America, beat them both, winning the Stateside Cup. So we've already won the first trophy of the season. Stateside Cup winners, you'll never sing that. But yeah, really good start. We obviously battered Crawley as well, 6-3. We had a really decent game against Nantes on the weekend, where it was 1-1. Didn't get the win, but we had a lot of opportunities. So there's a lot of positives to take from that, of course, especially Kamada scoring. Of course, he looks like he's going to be Elise's replacement for the start of the season. And he scored a couple in pre-season to show he can do a job for us in the Premier League in that position, which is really exciting to see. We, of course, obviously beat Charlton as well in pre-season. So, yeah, it's looking good. And we had a few behind closed door matches as well, which rumour has it we won them as well. So it is looking really good. What is really good about that as well is the fact that our pre-season has been very disjointed. Obviously, the England boys at the Euros have only returned recently. They've only played one game. Elise's left and all of our players are subject to bids. Ayu's going to Leicester, apparently. Gay's had 3 bids from Newcastle. Eze's been linked to Spurs, Arsenal, Liverpool City, I think, as well. You've had other players as well linked away, Mateta, Edward. Crazy. So, to have all this going on in the background, to have our players just returning as well. Munoz and Lerma had only recently returned from the Copa America as well. So it has been a bit of a disjointed pre-season. What has been really good, though, is the fact that players like Chadi Riyad have looked really good when they've come into the side. Will Hughes has still looked at his best, which is really good to see. And, as I said, Kamada's also looking good. Anyways, enough of the pre-season chat. Let's talk about this game against Brentford. Let's preview it. Let's dive in and kind of look at the key battles as well as what I think the predicted 11s will be. So this was Brentford's last starting 11 for their match against Wolfsburg, in which they won 4-3, which tells you a lot. It tells you they've got goals in their locker, and it also tells you they are going to leak a few this season as well. Of course, the main points for Brentford are the fact that they've kept Toney so far, they've kept Mbeumo so far, and of course, they've signed Fabio Carvalho as well, which is a really good signing for them. They have a really good attacking setup at the club. That's one of the things that I think is doing so well for them. And it's going to be a huge reason for them if they do stay up this season. Of course, the sad news for them is Igor has got injured. He was kind of like the Toney replacement. He's out for a few months with a meniscus injury. Be really interesting to see what happens there. Toney is still being linked away, but there's no way he's going to go before the Palace game this weekend if he does. So the only few changes I'd probably see in the starting 11 are Wissa out for Toney, maybe Shard out for Carvalho as well. but he's only been there a few days. So Thomas Frank may just look to keep what he's got and let that guy integrate in a little bit first before he's thrusted straight into a very hard game. Some of their negatives for me have been Flecken. I don't think he's a good enough goalie. He has not looked good in pre-season. The fact that they still haven't got Rico Henry back or Hickey back as well tells me that down the wings is where you can really exploit them. I don't think their fullback cover is that great as well. So that's hopefully where Palace will be looking to go. Of course, we've got our left wing backs who maraud forward with huge pace as well. So that's where I hope we are looking to kind of capitalize on this team. I think we should also win the midfield battle as well, but it will be interesting. One thing about Brentford is they all fight for that manager. They all give 100%. There's no one in that squad really, or that starting 11 who you think, oh, he's going to have this kind of day where he doesn't really care. They've been a really good side the last 2 or 3 seasons, Brentford. They've shown that they can stay in the division. So this game, especially away from home, is not one in which Palace should be thinking, oh, it's an easy 3 points. It's going to be tough. It is going to be tough. So yeah, we've got to be careful with that threat with Toney and Mbeumo. For me, it's so key. We keep Gay this week, keep him in that starting 11 for that game. And we need Gay, Anderson, and either Chaddy Reid or Chris Richards in that back line. We need it to be as perfect as possible because they have got pace and they have got physicality in that front two. It's a really nice front two. Also, if they do have Carvalho in that team, we need to be careful. That is someone we need to watch because he's going to be their creator. But yeah, that's how I think Brentford are going to line up. Let me know what you guys think on their starting 11. Who are their strengths? Who are their weaknesses? Let me know in the comments down below. Before we dive into Palace, be sure to give me a follow on Twitter as well. That's where I'm getting this from. Luke Seychelles is my name, is my is my handle. So yeah, be sure to give me a follow on that as well. Anyways, diving into Palace, this is how we started in our last preseason game of the season. And as always, you expect this to be very similar to how the first game will go for us. The first Premier League game will be. Henderson is the number one. Been reported. We know Johnston wants to go. Fair play to him. He has not been treated harshly. He wants to leave. He is a bit injury prone. He is a really good goalie, but sadly, it is time for him to part. He is 31 years old. Henderson is 26. It makes sense. And Glasner has picked his number one. So that's how we're going to go. It will be really interesting to see how Henderson does this season. I think this is a really big season for Henderson, and I think he can do well for us as well. That back line looks exactly how it should on Sunday. Munoz, Richards, Anderson, Gay, Mitchell. Very good back five, very strong back five. Glasner has only been able to use Gay once or twice since he's been here, so he must be over the moon if we do keep Gay, and if he can start him in this game, it should be class to see that back five in action. Munoz is going to be the key threat for us. He's going to be so good down that right-hand side. Hopefully he can exploit and get us any decent attacking positions from Brentford holding the ball. What I love about Munoz is when we do press, Munoz is basically like one of the furthest players forward. The Palace press at the moment is absolutely ridiculous. It is something that we do so well under Glasner. At the moment, when you see opposition players or defenders passing it around the back, you can see these Palace players pressing them so bad. We cause so many mistakes from it, and I wouldn't be shocked to see a lot of goals from it this season. Mitchell as well has been chipping in with goals in pre-season. Exactly what you want to see, goals and assists. So it's just really good to see him doing that because a lot of fans think he's great defensively, but needs a bit more attacking intent, and he's showing it under Glasner. Anyways, moving on to the midfield, and here we have a crucial battle. Definitely going to be Wharton in that starting 11. Probably going to be Hughes as well. Lerma, as I said, has only returned recently. Decore had a bit of an injury setback in pre-season, and he didn't start this game. So he's clearly not being rushed back. So it's just about time with Decore. But if it is Wharton and Hughes, I'm very happy with that. Hughes under Glasner was a revelation. I wanted him gone in the summer. I just didn't think he was good enough. But under Glasner, he proved he can really thrive. Really excited to see. And Hughes is really good in the press as well. I think it really suits in this style. So it's really good to see. Kamada, Edouard, and Eze. Now, the big question is, will Mateta be in that starting 11? He has returned to training officially today. It's Wednesday at the time of recording, so he's got about 3 days in there. He's been playing for the last few weeks, so he's clearly match fit, so that's not a worry. Does Glasner want him straight back in the side? You'd probably think so. Edouard's been hit and miss in pre-season, let's be honest. It's really frustrating with him. He's such a good finisher, but it's the all-round game that he really struggles with. That's what we need Mateta for. Hopefully Mateta starts because that will be huge for us. Mateta continued his goal scoring form in pre-season for France, or the Olympics for France, sorry. And he was really good there, scoring goals. His form lately is ridiculous. Let's hope he keeps up for next season and it wasn't just a purple patch. Kamada and Eze is class for us. Eze looked good on the weekend. Flicks, tricks, really good. Good on the ball. good defensively, exactly what we want from him. And Kamada looks really good, scoring goals, as I have said before in this video. So that's really exciting to see. Obviously, he thrived under Glasner for Frankfurt, so there should be no fears of him going straight into the side. I think his signing is being massively underrated by the Palace fan base because we got him on a free transfer. If we didn't get him on a free transfer, he'd probably be like a 15, 20 mil player. We'd be buzzing. He's a Europa League winner. Really, really good. Of course, for Palace fans, the big thing is, can we replace Elise? Replacing Elise with someone on his caliber is completely impossible. He is just so good at what he does. However, the one thing we do lack at the moment in this squad is that inverted winger on the right. Kamada will not play like Elise. He will not cut in on his left foot and cross. He's not like that. He won't run down the byline. He's a bit different of a player. Technical, bit slower probably on the ball. Can we still thrive with that sort of player in this formation on the right? How crucial was Elise? Of course, he was amazingly crucial. So it's really, really a big test for the starting 11 against Brentford to show that we can do this without Elise for sure. Subs will be very interesting. We've got some depth there. Decore, Lerma, Sarr, really, really good options. Edouard, if he's back on the bench. Even though we may not see Schlupp and Ayew for the whole of this season, they may make moves elsewhere. They have been very good and proved under Glasner that they do still have some quality. And if they have to come on last 20 minutes, of course it's going to be not as good as a Kamada or an Eze, but the worry is not as huge as it was under Roy Hodgson, let's be honest. Raksaki will be at Sheffield United, so he will not be available for this game. Will be interesting to see how we do there. Let's remember that you can only have 9 subs on the bench as well in Premier League games. So we do have options. Lerma, Decore, Schlupp, Ayew, Sarr, Edouard, Riyad, Klein, Holding, and a goalie. It would work itself out, wouldn't it? It just shows we've got a lot of players there. We can fill that bench with some very decent players. Really, really interesting to see how we get on against Brentford. As I said before, let me know your predictions. For me, I'm obviously predicting a Palace win. I think it's going to be very, very tight and cagey. If Palace do not take the lead, that is my one worry. And my one worry over pre-season is we have been conceding. If Brentford do score first, and that for me sees them sit back, that's exactly what they want to do. We need to make sure that they don't have that opportunity to be able to hold on to possession, sit back and hold on to a lead. It is so crucial, especially away from home, first game of the season. As I said, we have been lacking in terms of clean sheets in pre-season. Something that we didn't lack towards the end of last season. So that was a bit of a worry for sure. Hopefully now the match fitness is there, the players are there, and it will be a Premier League game. Everyone will be fully switched on and focused for this game. Anyways, that has been it from me. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. I really did enjoy it myself. There will be more graphics. There will be more content. Hopefully weekly Crystal Palace content previewing each game is what I want to do. Crystal Palace fans, please do subscribe. Red and Blue Army, let's see what we can do about this season. It's very exciting. Can we push for a top 10 finish? Can we go on a cut run? I cannot wait to find out. One thing for sure is I am so excited for this season. I can't remember a summer where I felt so excited for the next season. It's great feeling at Palace at the moment. Let's hope Glasner and the boys can keep it going. I'll see you later.